My fellow Americans, we shall be confounded, ground to powder, born again and again, till every wrong is made right, until good comes to all men. This was written by Charles Sprague Smith. My fellow Americans, I had just written out 2 videos. The Weakness of Our Time, which is about individuals being themselves and realizing their gift. And Dark Powers in America, outlining the nature's preaching today as candy-coated amidst a troubled society and terrorism. Then the Ariana Grande terror attack caught my eye. After this attack, I had realized the entire world is under an illusion. How the illusion of terrorism has befuddled the entire planet has me marveling in wonderment. But it certainly is no riddle. However, world leaders seem to be under some hallucinogen. This menace is on the rise, and the policy of world governments is a vigil in response. Terrorism is real and a fact, but today leaders view it as a salesman selling snake oil at a carnival, conceding if you drink a dose it will go away. One attack after another is no illusion, but leaders continue to resist the compelling carnage, tears, and heartache. Their failure to act is a mental flaw. They are under the deception that such an ideology is compatible with the Western world. Frankly, it is a moral disorder plaguing the world, and it seeks the destruction of Western civilization. Western leaders refuse to believe this is their fate. How these men and women have the illusion this is the world's destiny begs me to use an alternative term instead of the word leaders to the alternative word of madmen and women. I draw this conclusion with the thought world leaders and terrorists desire to be each other's victim. You have to be a madman if you want your own country's destruction. Where does such an idea come from? How does one arrive formally and depend upon an illusion? The greater question arises, is there a collaboration with this monstrous evil? For just the following day, the outcry from journalists was snubbed by the British government, denying free speech of democracy. My friends, America, the UK, and Europe are caught up in a pacifist dream. They know which way the stream is flowing and demonstrate emphatically a stoic unwillingness to alter this diabolical evil. All I can tell you is it is quite obvious the world right now is full of judgment days. It is a compensation for allowing such an evil to exist in our world. I am curious about collaboration, for I question how countries throughout the world do absolutely nothing to resist the destruction of life. Everyone seems to know the world has not produced a resolution, and irresponsibility has blinded themselves to the horrific atrocities being committed right before our eyes on a daily basis. We used to be able to turn to the poets, writers, and great thinkers for advice. Seemingly no one cares. Great men with wisdom are missing and almost non-existent in our world, as it is about to be tossed into ballistic mayhem. Troubles in the world can be summed up by what is happening here in America. Preachers no longer preach about evil and what defines wickedness. There is no address to the practicality of combating the great woes surfacing over and over again in our country. It is as if we are giving a thumbs up to the immoral conduct which is riding roughshod over the world. It is as if the gladiator games have returned with spectators, and therefore the dark tidings roaring like a lion upon the American landscape. Preachers today use the gospel as a means of attention, and what they speak is a fruitless endeavor. Their self-help gospel is psychological, not spiritual. They never address the evil in the soul of this nation. This has given darkness a free pass and the joyous outcome that darkness can coexist with light, falsely leading to the characterization of Christian character as a cohabitation with any religion or philosophy. which is not Christianity at all. For our good Lord makes it absolutely clear, "Thou shalt not have any other gods before me." I bring this to your attention, for we are witnessing in America and throughout the world an acceptance of evil in societies that are of Christian descent. Leaders have compromised their blessings by accepting the nemesis of their good life as well-intentioned, when indeed the overthrow of success, peace, and harmony is their mission. As I stated, evil and wickedness is escalating due to the world's lackluster approach to devils in men's souls. If there is no warning about evil in America and the world, then there is no resistance to the fire of destruction in the minds of men. If this continues, civilization will lose its moral compass, and the world will wallow in dark debauchery on every continent. Should men fear? Absolutely. The horrors of wickedness will become so predominant and prevalent that the question will arise, have the demons and devils of hell risen and taken possession of the minds of men and women? For, my friends, if evil is not curbed in our world, unrighteousness, ungodliness, and the diabolical will rule the world with you and I in it. Just posted on the internet was a female comedian posing with a bloody, decapitated head of President Trump. If anyone is blinded to the escalating evil in our nation, this post is an absolute witness of the deep-seated psychological wickedness in our nation. It is also proof of the country's acceptance of such atrocious acts of evil. There is no doubt, my fellow Americans, that without the standards and ideals of Christian living in Christ overshadowing our nation, catastrophe will be the sudden doom of the United States. You can count on it, my friends, for it is burning with an intensity. On a final note, a defect in our general culture is the inability to discern the importance of opposing evil, wickedness, and dark tidings in our society. What the eye beholds belongs to the seer. You see a flowing brook, it belongs to you. What you see is now yours. The entire world sees terrorism. It now belongs to us all. The barbarians are at the gates, and it can eventually affect the entire world if there is no contending force. However, terrorism, I dare to ask, is this not our justice? For the scriptures talk of a seared conscience like a branding iron, and it is because of the hardness of their hearts. 2 Timothy and Ephesians 4. So is terrorism a justice because of our ignorance? Because of the hardness of our hearts? I certainly can tell you we are living in a pretext, artificial, counterfeit world, where truth is concealed, misleading is a quality, spontaneity is a setback, imitation is an acceptance, fraud and deception are embraced, and imposters are applauded. This is the history of our time. Not until this nation of the world returns to righteousness, godliness, and Christian values will it even have the remote possibility of crowding out the evils tearing our world apart. The urgent need is to return to the standards and ideals of Christian living the good Lord warns we should live by. For without them, America and the world will suffer the fate of fear instilled in men's hearts, as the scriptures warn about the evils hurled upon the world at a specific period of time. And it states that men's hearts will fail them because of fear and of what is coming upon the world. I write and speak this to you today so you can contemplate what is necessary for you, America, and the world's salvation. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.